AITAH for telling my autistic sister that she should mask more. Posted by OrdinaryRub6656. I know it doesn't sound very nice, but I was so frustrated at the time, and still am. However, I can't see myself as the A, despite my sister and mother telling me that I am. It was my 36 female sister's 30 female birthday last month, and it was horrible. She has always been difficult and entitled all through her life, so her diagnosis as an adult of autism made sense and explained why she might have been so difficult in that she was having struggles in life that no one understood, and it manifested itself in ways that looked like rudeness and entitlement. We tried as a family to make adjustments to her and brush off various aspects of her personality that were unpleasant, many of which I didn't totally believe were down to autism, such as mocking other people or demanding that everyone do everything her way. She has also always been very materialistic, which was always difficult as we didn't have much money growing up. I was mostly shouted down by everyone except my dad, who would just quietly agree with me out of earshot. She got a lot worse after her diagnosis and suddenly didn't understand jokes or couldn't eat certain foods, which meant no one else could eat certain foods. I work with special education needs children, and 2 of my closest friends are autistic, so I do think I understand masking as much as someone can without having experienced it myself. On my sister's birthday, she was horrible, literally unwrapping presents and throwing them aside without looking at them, complaining that it wasn't as much as she got last year, and complaining that now she won't have anything to open on her actual birthday. We were celebrating a day early because it was the weekend. She was then moaning that she didn't want to go out for dinner and couldn't be bothered, and moaned all the way there. What she didn't know was that her boyfriend had invited a few of her friends to dinner too, as a surprise. When she saw them, she was suddenly all sweetness, really happy mood, saying how she was so happy everyone was there, spending time admiring presents, and being the most pleasant person. I do believe she was genuinely happy and pleased to see her friends, one of which she hasn't seen in a long time. After the family drove back to hers, she was surprised that none of us wanted to stay for a bit. My parents made excuses, but I just outright told her her behavior was vile before dinner, that she didn't show any appreciation for anything we had done, did she even know what I had got her for her birthday, etc. That it would have taken all of 2 seconds for her to have said, "Thank you," instead of, "Is that it?" I also told her that it was made even worse watching her be pleasant to her friends and show appreciation for their presence, and that she clearly knows how to behave, she just chooses not to. She got annoyed and said that I should be happy that she doesn't feel the need to mask the real her with us. And I replied with, if that's what the real her is like, then maybe she should mask more often. Deathboy UK comments. There's been a worrying increase in posts around my autistic relative misbehaving pretty much since RFK Jr. started spouting shit about the crazy things he thinks cause it. I think the karma farmers found a new group to pick on with their rage bait, and that's pretty fucked up, frankly. OP response. This is very real, unfortunately for me. I'm only posting today because I'm due to go for dinner with my family tomorrow, and I'm still pretty annoyed with her. Also, being English in England, I'm very happy not to pay any attention to anything your politicians say. And as I said, I work with children with SEND, so am not interested in picking on anyone. Skangwoodlang comments, NTA, she can be autistic and a complete bitch at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. Autism doesn't excuse everything. Queen of the Bulls comments, seriously, all of this, as an autistic woman in her 30s, autism is why I struggle to understand so many cues and I'm so particular in my food and textures. Masking sucks. Masking causes damage to you internally by raising your stress levels, and it's not something we should be asked to do. But sis doesn't need to mask with the family. She just needs to stop being a raging bitch, which has nothing to do with the autism. It's its own problem. I'd personally suggest therapy with a blunt therapist who will be fully honest when she is being self-centered or a bitch. Tathath think I had comments. NTA, your sister is using autism as an excuse and needs to grow the fuck up. Honestly, I hate people using diagnoses to excuse their shitty behavior. I have suffered with mental health issues, and not once have I used it as an excuse to be awful to people.